Hello everyone, and welcome back to more SRL racing here on the official SRL League channel. And I'm sorry we are a little bit late. That is totally my fault. Unfortunately, overslept a little bit, but we are finally here, and as they say, better late than never. And today we have a special one, because not only is it the crown jewel in the Formula 1 calendar, the Monaco Grand Prix, the one that everyone wants to win, we also have a very special occasion today, because obviously it is the 10-year anniversary race for SRL. And what a special occasion to celebrate here today. And what a beautiful track to do it at. We're going to have 39 laps of this wonderful racetrack here in the Principality by the Sea. And as you can see, we have a pretty full grid. We are going to run through that very shortly, but what a special occasion it is today. 10 years of SRL, so many races, so many drivers, so many storylines, and well, today could be another one of those races that goes down in history, in SRL history, because obviously we have a bit of a championship fight on our hands. So it will be interesting to see, but yeah, get comfortable, get some snacks, get some drinks, and get ready for this race that is about to commence. We are just waiting for the final preparations from the drivers. So I think we should just let's just run through the grid really quickly, shall we? Of course, as ever, and we are used to seeing that as he readies up, it is Sandro Dullis in the Scuderia Ferrari, and he will be teaming up, as you can see at the bottom of the player list, by Dion Stahl, as usual. And we have Alexei Koivogemi in the Alpine. And then we have a bunch of reserve drivers, actually, here today, I'm pretty sure. Just need to get my notes in here as we get ready for qualifying here at the shores of the Monaco harbour. So let's see what the different drivers can do. But what a special occasion it is. I'm going to be saying that quite a lot here today. And I do look forward to spending this, well, should we say, day together here in the commentary booth. People are just readying up. We're getting ready, the drivers picking their strategies. And then we are ready to get into qualifying. And if there's ever a qualifying session that is important, it is this one. Because we very rarely see a lot of overtakes. And we have rain here in qualifying for the Monaco Grand Prix. Okay, so that spices things up a little bit, for sure. So that is definitely something that throws a bit of a wrench into things. Obviously, depending on whether the race also stays dry. But as we can see, a lot of drivers heading out on track. Could be the case that we might be seeing a track that is going to get wetter and wetter as the session progresses. But we can see here both Jensen Randall, we have Jack Richards, George Wilkes, Alex Benedicchetti and Andrea Latrella all heading out on the track. Ivan Brito as well heading out on track. As we're following Jensen Randall here on his outlap, you can see he has the Alpine and the Aston Martin in front of him, and there's a bit of front wing there, and that is from the Aston Martin of George Wilkes, who sits right in front of Jensen Randall out on track. I do think that Jack Richards went for an overtake on the Aston there as well to get past him. So Wilkes might have to get back to the pits to pick up a new front wing, as Serpelloni in the V-Carb retires from the session. He has a qualifying suspension for this race that he picked up all the way back in Baku, and he is serving that one here today. We're going to see the first couple of flying laps, everyone except Serpelloni, and in a moment George Wilkes is going to be out on the track. But Jensen Randall starts his first flying lap attempt here. Heading into turn 1, you need to carry so much speed through that corner. So we have a yellow flag, that is just for a slow moving car. But yeah, Monaco, one of those tracks where you need to carry just the right amount of speed into the different corners, as to not run the corners too slowly, but also not to crash into the barriers. But heading through the middle sector into the tunnel section, this is obviously what makes Monaco a little bit more tricky in the wet. The rest of the track will be drenched in rain, but then you have the tunnel section with the fast right-hander, which always stays dry, regardless of the weather. But Jensen Randall posting a purple middle sector. No one has posted a lap yet, so that does explain why, as he is coming up on the final couple of corners here. We are going to see some lap times being posted. Latrella posts the first flying lap. Jack Richards improves, but Jensen Randall improves the lap times by almost 2 seconds. Or just over 2 seconds, as a matter of fact. So really good there from the Briton, Jerome Adamaco. He moves to the top, and he improves Randall's time by just over a second. Let's pick up Jamie Jägerström here, the Dane out on track here, and he is still sporting that beautiful Golf livery that the Williams pairing has been running for a couple of races now. But it looks beautiful, so it does make sense that they are running this livery on this very special occasion. Jägerström will be looking for a result here today that is of the highest quality. He obviously has a lot of podium finishes, the Danish driver, but he is still yet to pick up his first victory in SRL. And what a track it would be to pick up your first victory. As he is heading into the final 2 corners here at the end of the lap. Tim Venting jumps to P4, just behind Alexei Koivoniemi. And Jägerström improves on that and moves into P3. So that is a very solid first attempt from the Danish driver. Let's pick up Sandro Dooley's, the man who's been here since the start. Oh, as he clatters into the wall there. But yeah, a special day for him as well. You can see him running a very special helmet as well. We usually see him in an orange helmet, but here today, as he is power sliding around each corner, he's wearing a golden helmet to mark the occasion of 10 years of SRL. He moves into P5 with his first flying lap attempt. But yeah, Sandro Dulis, he's been at Ferrari ever since the first season. And ever since that first season, he has just been chugging along in the championship. He never won a championship himself, even though he is the owner of the league. And if that doesn't speak any volumes for how fair he runs this league, well, I don't know what will. We usually see owners who might favor themselves every now and then. That is not the case for this man. He is a purebred racer, and he does it only the fair way. And that is wonderful to see. But hopefully at some point he can pick up that championship which has eluded him for years. As Jerome Adamaco improves the provisional pole lap time out in front, he improves to a 1:21.5. So good on him, good on him. Let's pick up Dion Stahl, the teammate of Sandro Dulis, who has been here for ages as well. But obviously the people today, as Stahl is improving his lap time at the moment, the people of today, since we weren't streaming back in season 1, you obviously wouldn't know this, but Stahl and Dulis haven't always been teammates, as a matter of fact. But it is the longest pairing, the longest lasting pairing in SRL today. As we see a bit of front wing there into turn 1, I wonder who that belongs to. As Stahl jumps into P10. But yeah, Dion Stahl actually started out racing for Williams for a couple of races before he was promoted to a Ferrari seat alongside Sandro Dulis. And if my memory serves me correctly, I could be wrong, but that would be for the Canadian Grand Prix in season 1 that Dion Stahl was promoted into the Ferrari seat. So he's been there for a long time. And Ivan Brito right now sitting in a very, very solid P7. That is very good, as Jamie Jägerström improves to P2, just behind Jerome Adamaco, and it seems as if the track might be getting a little bit faster right now. We are seeing lap times drop ever so slightly. Let's pick up Kovanyemi. He's also improving just slightly on his first attempt. 27 thousandths of a second is what he is currently up on his fastest lap attempt, as he's catching up to the Kicksauber of Season 2 champion Alex Benedicchetti. And what a special occasion to have him here as well. We have so many champions on track at the moment, which is wonderful to see. We have several champions as Jerome Adamaco improves the provisional pole lap time. Kovanyemi is currently just a half a second behind his fastest lap attempt, so he's not going to improve anything. Well, let's pick up Jensen Randall, who is currently improving by half a second. And he is obviously one of the champions we currently have out on track. Apart from him, we have Benedicchetti, who is the Season 2 champion. And then we have the Red Bull pairing, who both are respective champions of their respective seasons. Season 4, Nick van Gelder, and Season 5, Tim Venting. So 4 champions out on track. But I do have a feeling at the end of the season we might see someone new pick up a championship. Jerome Adamaco hasn't looked fast so far, as Jensen Randall pulls off a 1:21.6 as we hear the V-carb. Oh, that's the Red Bull, sorry. That must be Nick van Gelder. Smashes into the wall, and they are running the beautiful White Bull livery here as well today. So that is nice to see. Special liveries all around. Jensen Randall as well running the Chrome McLaren. So very interesting to see the different paint schemes that we have here today. Let's pick up Tim Venting. He has just posted another lap time. He improved by 0.8 on his current fastest attempt. And is he going for another lap? I do wonder. Let's see what the what the Dutchman can do, as he has found an almost half a second improvement in the first sector as he heads into the slowest corner on the Formula 1 grid, the hairpin here at Monaco, into the tunnel section. The man who's currently chasing down Jerome Adamaco in the championship fight, and he will be looking to just get any sorts of close to him, because we have heard rumors that Jerome Adamaco might not be able to make a couple of races this season. So the current lead that Adamaco has in the championship might seem like a lot, but at some point we might see the German miss a couple of races, and that is when Tim Venting needs to capitalize. But let's see what he can do. He jumps to P5. He improves by 1.5 seconds almost, and he's in front of the Ferrari pairings of Dulis and Stahl, with Stahl being the lead Ferrari here today. Very interesting, actually, very interesting. Let's pick up the other Red Bull of Nick van Gelder. He is currently on an improvement of just over a second in the first two sectors. Oh, but he smashes into the wall there. And let's see what the German... I keep calling them German. They are obviously Dutch, both of them. But yeah, let's see what the other Dutchman in the Red Bull can do as he pulls it through the final corner and over the start-finish line. What's it going to be? It's P10 for Nick van Gelder, as Jamie Jägerström, he's always been in P3, but that would be that is Jack Richards in the other Alpine. He's currently sitting in P4 ahead of his teammate Alexei Koivuniemi. It's a very good job there by Richards. Obviously one of the couple of substitutes that we have here today, but he's doing a very solid job. It's good to see from him. And Ivan Brito, who we saw all the way up in P7, has fallen to P13 with the improvements that the other drivers have found. Let's see what he has found here. He's heading towards the line and he jumps into P5 right behind Richards. So very good from the Mercedes driver there. And we have seen this throughout the history of SRL. Ivan Brito is a wonderful driver. He is very skilled and also a very good qualifier. And we are seeing that here today with the Portuguese Silver Arrows driver. And he is probably looking to be there for his teammate today, who's currently on provisional pole by just over a second to Jensen Randall in second place. But a very, very solid attempt there from Ivan Brito, as we have just under 3 minutes left here in this qualifying session. And a driver I'm surprised we haven't seen that much of yet, as we have seen him trouble the top drivers, is Nicolo Falsaresi, but that might change here as he jumps into P2. Falsaresi, I was almost beginning to think that we weren't going to see him today, but the other Williams, he is still here and he is hungry as ever, as he is currently the closest one to Adamaco's provisional pole time. But it is still over a second to the front man. And I did speak with Aramako yesterday, just a little bit, heading into this race, because it is a special occasion, but I did have a chat with Aramako, and he did say he was either going to run away with this race. He backs himself if he doesn't have any incidents. He was either going to run away with this race and win it by 30 seconds, or he was going to spectacularly, as he put it, flip it into the harbour. So it's one or the either. Either we're going to see Aramako run away with this race, or we might not even see him finish the race. But that remains to be seen, obviously. Let's pick up Koivuniemi. His teammate currently sitting in P6, and they are both split by the Mercedes of Brito. But he is currently on another attempt. We saw his latest attempt. It was held up by the Kicksauber, as there's a bit of front wing there. Hopefully no puncture for the fin in the Alpine. And the marshals will need to be quick to pick that up. Everyone in the live chat, I do hope you're having a good day. I'm sorry I haven't been paying attention to that as much. There's so much action right now out on track. But Koivuniemi doesn't find that improvement that he's looking for, so he remains in P8. Venting has dropped all the way down to P9, and he's currently on another attempt to try and improve his position for the race. But it is relatively close in the midfield here. We see all the way from P5 and down to P13. They're all within a second of each other, but time has run out. And Tim Venting, final lap, what's it going to be? He jumps into P2, is what he does. But can Falsaresi do anything about that? Let's see. No, not enough. And Jensen Randall, oh, I do think he might have caught the Sauber of Benedicchetti there at a very unfortunate time, because it looked like he was being held up ever so slightly. But yeah, that is qualifying over as Doulis jumps into P3. So a very solid attempt there from the Greek in the Ferrari. But what about Jamie Jägerström? We have seen him capable of a fast lap here at Monaco, as Aramako improves provisional pole. It's a 1:19.2 now. I don't think anyone is going to beat that lap time. But what is it going to be for Jamie Jägerström? Is he going to be able to do it better than his teammate? Let's see. And he jumps to P2. He's going to start alongside Jensen Randall. Oh, sorry, Jerome Aramako. Oh, wow. So the final flying lap attempt there from Jamie Jägerström was all that was necessary for the Danish driver, and he is the only one, except for Aramako, who takes pole position here at Monaco, who was capable of breaking into the 120s. So a very solid qualifying there for Williams. But yet Jerome Aramako, 1:19.2 is the lap time from him. So he beats everyone by over 1.5 seconds. And Jamie Jägerström in P2 ahead of Tim Venting. Then we have Doulis, Falsaresi, Randall all the way down in 6th. Then it is Jack Richards, Nick van Gelder, Alexei Koivuniemi and Dion Stahl rounding out the top 10. And then it is Brito, Wilkes. And then we have... oh, I do not remember all of the names, unfortunately. I do have to look into that. But yeah, Serpelloni obviously without a lap time, as he was unfortunately with a qualifying suspension. And I am being told that we might have someone who will join us here in the commentary booth. So if you will stand by as the formation lap is commencing, I'll get back to you very shortly. And we are back again. And let's see if we can be joined by a familiar voice. Here he is, the man who you have been used to hearing for so many years in SRL, and only recently you've had to get used to my voice. Lance LeBron, more commonly known as Kamikaze Fox. Welcome back to the commentary booth, Lance.
What's happening, Sam?
Oh, wow. We're just pulling, we're just saying Avengers Assemble for this race, it seems. Oh,
yeah, I was
wow.
just in the driver's chat. It was good to hear some of the guys' voices, and I didn't want to distract them too much in qualifying. It's obviously very tight, especially 7th on back, so...
Yeah, I do imagine. Yeah, I just picked up one of the chats in the live chat saying invite Lance, and I mean, you don't have to tell me twice.
Well, we told you a few times. You don't check all your messages.
That is true. That is true. Well, I do have to say I have overslept, so that is the reason why we've started so late. But as I said, better late than never. But yeah. As drivers are heading out on the formation lap, I suppose we could just quickly run down the grid. I mean, Adamako, not really any questions of whether he was the fastest there. 1.7 seconds in front of Jamie Jägerström in qualifying, and then we have Tim Venting, the pursuer in the championship, sitting in P3. Dulis with a very good qualifying ahead of Falsaresi, and Randall, who has to be disappointed with that result. And it is Jack Richards and Nick van Gelder. Jack Richards, very solid qualifying there, ahead of his teammate Alexei Koivoniemi in P9. And then it is Dion Stahl, as we said, who rounds out the top 10. He is ahead of Ivan Brito in P11. Then it is George Wilkes. And then it is Peter Nicole in the Haas, as we just get the strategies there. It is obviously a forced two-stop here today. Trying to spice things up, but if anything is to go by, that doesn't do anything for the race. So GG's, FIA, another gimmick that did absolutely fuck all, as they say. Then we have Andrea Latrella in P14 ahead of Season 2 champion Alex Benedicchetti, and then it is Robin Herstadhagen in P16, and Serpelloni all the way down in P17. He had a qualifying suspension, so that is why he is starting from the back.
Yeah, he's definitely got his work cut out for him.
He definitely has, and he is also someone we are used to seeing running at the front. But the 5 red lights are coming on here for the Monaco Grand Prix. Season 11, the 10-year anniversary race is go, and it seems like Adamako got away well. It seems like Tim Venting, he got a better start than Jamie Jägerström here, as he pulls into P2 heading up the hill. And Tim Venting has done what he needed to do at the start. He has overtaken Jamie Jägerström for P2, but Adamako, he's pulled a gap already, as we see a battle for P4. That is Jensen Randall, who's made up a couple of positions, and he's trying to make his way past the Ferrari of Dulis. But to no avail, and we have a car park here at the hairpin. It seems like Ivan Brito found
definitely got some contact on the back.
It definitely does. He's missing that front left end plate on the front wings, so a good qualifying for the Portuguese driver, but once again, luck is not on his side, it seems. But back out in front.
Made that move going into 1, but I'm pretty sure he probably got a warning for cutting that corner a little tight going up the hill.
It could be. I mean, it's probably one of the only corners you can cut here at Monaco. that being turn 1 and maybe also the chicane. But Jerome Adamaco, fastest lap so far, but he's checked out in front, 1.5 seconds on the first lap.
That's insane. Looks like he brushed the wall coming out of 1 too.
It did seem like it, but
it sucks. My feed's like 4 seconds behind. I can't necessarily call it live, unfortunately.
Now that's unfortunate though, but yeah, there's a bit of a battle here for the back spots. Well, it's a battle in the pits, as we have 3 drivers through the pit lane here on lap 2. It is Ivan Brito, Herstadhagen and Serpelloni. So those 3 will be fighting for the wooden spoon, as it seems, here today. But anything can happen. Or maybe that is just part of the strategy. We do have to remember this is a forced 2-stop strategy. As we said, a gimmick that the FIA decided to introduce for, I believe it was actually the 25 season.
Correct.
For the Monaco Grand Prix, to try and make it more entertaining, but in the end they just ended up making George Russell lose a couple of brain cells because he couldn't overtake. But anyway, Jerome Adamaco out in front. Well, he did say it himself. He was either going to check out in front or he was going to send it into the harbour. And right now he's checking out, so we're going to leave him for now. The battle for P2 is still a bit on here. Jägerström hasn't lost the back of that Red Bull. And we have seen Jägerström. He is a very aggressive driver when he gets the chances to overtake.
Looks like Randall lost the spot to Falzaresi. Falzaresi, he's a former winner here too, isn't he?
I mean, probably. I do have to agree to say I'm not very good with the recent history of SRL, but you could ask me anything of the first couple of seasons and I would be able to answer within a couple of seconds. But recent history, unfortunately, I do not remember. But yeah.
Yeah, Falzaresi, former winner. It looks like he got around Randall. Randall's down into the 6th position, so that's going to hurt his championship chances right now, which is good news for Adamaco and Ventic running 1 and 2.
It is, definitely, as we have George Wilkes heading into the pits as well. So it seems like a couple of the drivers out in the midfield, they are gambling on an early stop to try and get one of those. Oh, as Jägerström has ended his race into the wall and he's created a car park. Oh dear.
Wow. Oh, and that's another. Oh, his teammates into him.
Yeah. That is that a safety car? That's only a virtual safety car for some reason, even though the Williams was stricken across the track. But yeah, that is the end of the day for Jamie Jägerström here today. And as you said, unfortunately, it seemed like the only car he collected ended up being his teammate, who's missing big chunks of his front wing.
At least he'll be able to continue through the race, but man, that's a tough break for Jägerström. Like you said, he can be a little too aggressive, and that virtual safety car ended as quickly as it came.
It really did, and Falzaresi almost through the tunnel section there, with the lack of downforce, clattered into the wall, but kept it going, and now he's holding up the Red Bull of Nick van Gelder. And I would imagine that he's
the worst section on the track to get stuck behind somebody that's got no freaking front grip.
Absolutely, and you can see the trouble he's causing. Dion Stahl in the Ferrari has closed up, well, within one sector of the track, and he's now within DRS range of the other Red Bull. Is he going for a move? He is. He's using the pit lane exit as well, the Ferrari. Oh, there's a bit of contact, but they keep it fair between them. And good
nice
driving
move by Dion.
That's good driving from Dion Stahl right there. But that incident does promote a few drivers into some favorable positions. Sandro Dooley is into P3, Tim Venting into P2, and most notably both Alpines into 4th and 5th, with Koivuniemi leading the charge ahead of Jack Richards. So very impressive from the Alpine pairing. At least
it looks like Jensen Randall may have tried to take advantage of that virtual safety car and pit early.
Yeah,
He's all the way down in the 12th position.
I do suppose we could take a look at the pit stops as Nick van Gelder has retired. Where has he done that?
Good.
Oh, that's in the chicane. He has definitely taken that inside wall. No question about it. And the only reason I know that he's done that is because I've done it myself in the past. But
that's a shame. That was a good starting spot for Nick van Gelder, old Season 4 champion, though. That's cutting it a little too close.
Yeah, unfortunately, and we see Sandra Dooley's, Jack Richards, Dion Stahl and Andrea Latrella all heading into the pits under this virtual safety car here. So they are trying to take advantage of the yellow flag conditions and the lower racing speeds to get one of their stops out of the way. But yeah, we can see a majority of the drivers have actually made their first stop. The exception in the midfield right now being Alex Benedicchetti, and that has that's kind of unfortunate for the likes of Jensen Randall, who was gambling on the previous virtual safety car. He's only made it up into P9.
Yeah, it's buried him in the field,
and he is currently stuck behind one of the Haas drivers. And
it looks like obviously the top three haven't pitted. Jerome Adamako, Tim Bentic, and Oleski. I mean, Tim's going to do whatever Jerome does, probably maybe a lap or two later.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Or a lap or two earlier to try and maybe get the undercut, but Adamako's in complete control of this race.
It would seem so, yeah, definitely. Alternatively, Tim could gamble on potentially boxing under if we get a full safety car, but at the end of the day, Jerome Adamako is going to do the same, as Ivan Brito picks up a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Now that is always impressive in my opinion when you get one of those penalties here in Monaco, because usually exceeding track limits would mean that you are climbing a wall somewhere, but
it's definitely a turn one thing. There's a couple of spots you can do it, but I mean, through the chicane coming out of the swimming pool section and then maybe turn one. Other than that, you're not really cutting corners here.
No, that's the thing. Oh, as we see, bit of contact there from that Serpelloni behind Ivan Brito, trying to get past the Mercedes. Heading out of turn one. Very aggressive there from Serpelloni. Oh, as he's...
Yeah, Ivan is struggling with his car big time.
He is, as the V-Cup is power sliding.
Look at that snap oversteer. Sorry, my feed's behind yours, so that's...
I mean, we could probably fix that. if the viewers will just hang on for a moment, we can fix that. And we will just... There we go. That should fix it. As Serpelloni has actually made his way past Brito. It looks like Brito has he has a bit of damage, it seems. Maybe some underfloor damage. You see Falsaresi as well. He's caught up to the back of the Mercedes. Is he going for a move? He's going for a very aggressive move into turn one. Oh, that hasn't worked out. That has not worked out the way that Falsaresi was hoping. And did he chip the front wing? I think he might have. He has. That front...
Yep, left plate, left front end plate.
That is gone. So Falsaresi, very aggressive move there, but in the end it didn't work out the way that he would have hoped. There's a bit of a train going on here. Sorry, that's not the train we were looking for. This is the train we're looking for. Dion Stahl doing his best impression right now, it would seem, of Jarno Trulli. You can see on the minimap he is pulling one heck of a train here. Consisting of...
Oh, it looks like we've got Tim Bentic into the pits along with Jerome Adamako. So Adamako, whatever Adamako is doing, Bentic's going to do, and that's going to promote Oleski up into the second spot.
I don't think Adamako actually has pitted, but I could be wrong.
I think he came out. Yep, he just came out of the pits.
He did. So Adamako has made his first pit stop of 2, and he's still 3.5 seconds clear of Koivuniemi in currently sitting in P2. But Tim Venting, he's come out behind Sandro Dulis. So Dulis right now probably sitting in a net P3 once all of the pit stops have gone out of the way.
Aleski, the only driver left to pit, and that's going to be interesting because at this point that's going to put Sandro up in a second, Ventic back up on the podium position. And then Richards is driving all by himself out there in 5th.
That is true. That is very true. And at the moment, I mean, I do wonder, we have seen Dulis and Stahl working together so well over the years. And we're seeing the train that Dion is currently pulling, as they are actually, it seems like they're catching up to the back of Jack Richards ever so slightly.
Yeah, Richards lost a couple tenths in that last sector.
I do wonder if he's made a mistake or something, but it seems like Dion Stahl at the moment is doing a solid job for his teammate, trying to...
Yeah, see, this is what Max needed from Yuki in the last round.
Absolutely.
Is
oh
out of
yeah.
a job.
This is teamwork. Red Bull, take notice. But yeah,
now what's interesting is that they're getting to the back of Richards, and I wonder if Richards knows that there's a whole train coming for him.
That is very interesting that you mentioned that. We see Jensen Randall, he's just been stuck in this midfield battle for the majority of the race. He's trying to get
past. And he's going to try to go around the outside? That's not going to work.
That is a very bold move, to say the very least. It is possible if you... Well, I almost said if you have the overspeed, but in reality it's just about having the biggest balls.
Well, it looks like Stahl's actually starting to pull away from this train, and this train's actually starting to fall apart here, and Wilkes is now under pressure from Randall.
Yeah, it certainly looks like the battling between Wilkes and Randall is giving Stahl a bit of breathing space to try and work his way closer towards Jack Richards, but it can flip so quickly. Now we see Wilkes is back on the...
I think Dion is. I think Dion backed it back up to Wilkes. I think he's playing the train game.
It does look like
the top 3 pull away, because as soon as Dion started getting a little bit of a gap, it went away real quick. It's like he noticed he was starting to pull and closed it back up.
I mean, I can only say from what I've experienced out on track this season as well, and obviously in the GT3 series at Laguna Seca, he was doing one heck of a job trying to keep Sandro Dulis in contention for the victory throughout the majority of the race. Oh, bit of a...
that was a sloppy corner.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it from Dion there. But he's doing one heck of a job here for Dulis right now. And the interesting thing would be to actually know what kind of lap times these drivers are putting down.
While Dion's been doing this, it looks like Tim Ventic is within a half second of Sandro for the 3rd position. So
does look like it, but as we just pick up the
inside.
Move. Ooh!
Oh, a little bit of a shoulder check up the hill. Woo-hoo-hoo. Good move, but aggressive by there, Tim Ventic.
Very aggressive there, as they are both catching up to the back of Koivuniemi, who I do... has he made his pit stop yet?
No, Leski's the only driver who hasn't pitted. Jensen finally getting around George Wilkes for the 7th position.
Oh,
it looks like he might have brushed the wall coming out of turn 1.
Outside move into turn 1. That is... well, I'm sorry we didn't catch that on live feed, as we have a yellow flag. That is...
Richards.
Richards.
And he's into the wall right there.
He's run it wide coming out of the casino square.
Okay, I'm sorry. What's it take in this game to get a full course caution at Monaco?
I am wondering that as well, because we have had, 3
that
retirements?
Is 3 cars that have been obliterated by the Armco and not one full course caution.
That is true. That is very true. I was also wondering, especially with the retirement of Jägerström, why we didn't get a full course safety car. So we have a yellow flag. That is Jensen Randall!
Oh, Jensen Randall.
Oh no!
Where's Randall?
He has... He's stuck it into the wall at the chicane. Oh dear, and he is punctured on the front left.
Yep. Left front is down. That is brutal.
That is day over for Jensen Randall. I can already tell you that now. He is not coming back from this one. unless there's a safety car.
Oh, look at this. He can't even get it to turn. Oh, my goodness. Oh, now goes the back end.
And he makes his way safely back to the pits, surprisingly.
This is honestly, this is the worst race I've ever seen Jensen Randall run.
Yeah,
I mean, I know he's had DNFs and stuff in the past, but like collectively, like he didn't do well in qualifying, got a poor start. He's been stuck mid-pack this whole race. Now he's got wing damage and a left front puncture. Like, and it's only lap 13 of 39.
That is true. As we see, oh, there's going to be a move here. Ooh, he was thinking about it.
He was going to go for it.
He was thinking about it, but that corner heading to the left, it's so fast, and if you just make one mistake, it's 2 cars into the wall, and then we might get a safety car. But
I mean, realistically, Tim should really just be patient here because whether he knows it or not, but Oleski has to pit, so he's going to get a free position when Oleski goes in anyways. Don't push your luck trying to make a pass if you don't need to.
That is true, but at the same time, I mean, Jerome Adamaco, he's checking out in front. I don't know whether Venting is hoping that once he gets past the Alpine that he's going to be able to bridge that gap, but it's 21 seconds at the moment. 22 as a matter of fact.
You're not making that up.
And as good as of a driver that Venting is, and with a championship in his pockets, I mean, or in his bag should I rather say, there's no way that you're bridging 22 seconds, regardless
this
of
is
who
one
you
of those
are.
scenarios. I mean, I know Tim's a good driver, and I know he's been concentrating a lot this season trying to get back to championship form. One of those things is going to have to be the mental game within yourself. You have to understand P2 is going to be all you're going to get out of this race. Don't do anything to sacrifice making it worse.
Absolutely.
You're just going to have to deal with the fact that Jerome's going to win this race. So this way you can salvage as many points as you can, and hopefully it doesn't come back to bite you later in the season. And a 3-second time penalty for Jensen Randall to add insult to injury.
He is having a nightmare here today. He's currently in P13, the penultimate current runner, and with a 3-second time penalty to his name, as Venting gets a good drive out of the final corner. Heading into turn 1, he's on the outside.
Oh.
That's not going to work. Oh, but he gets a good run up the hill. Is this going to be it? Ooh! They almost run into the wall there by Koyoniemi. Hooey! That was almost something we saw between a Red Bull and a Haas a couple of years back at the start of the race, and fortunately it ended way better this time for Tim Venting. That was very close. And now it's Sandro Dulis' turn to try and get past the, almost want to say, the Finnish roadblock here. Because he is driving...
Well, everything I was just saying about Tim, I mean, Sandro should just do the same. Bide your time. Oleski's going to have to make a stop. Don't do any unnecessary risks.
Absolutely.
And looks like Randall just got up into the 12th position, so...
Yeah, made his
Why don't
way
we
past.
see if we can get Nick in here and talk to Nick about his day, because it is done short, unfortunately.
Yeah, that would be nice. Are you able to...
big wiggle there for Sandro coming out of that chicane. Looks like he hopped the curb a little bit.
Let's just quickly get Nick.
And Oleski finally going into the pits. So that's going to promote Sandro up into the 3rd position as we try to get Nick Van Gelder in here and talk to him about his day. And I know Nick just wants to be a part of me. That's okay.
That is totally fine. But there's not really...
So Oleski's going to drop back into the 4th position. That moves... Dion is up into... Actually, Dion's going to get a...
He's going to get a good boost here. As we have... Oh, Ivan Brito has retired. And that is in the chicane as well. As Nick Van Gelder joins us in the party. Well, Nick, that didn't go as planned.
No, it certainly didn't. Lance and Sam, yeah, unfortunately, it was just self-inflicted. I had a decent start to the race. I was running in P6, but I had a bit of damage after I had contact with Don Piper, who tried to go up the inside into the final corner. So I was already nursing a bit of underbody damage, and then trying to, I guess, maybe make up for it. I turned in slightly too early into the Nouvelle chicane, and I hit him on the inside. So, yeah, just completely my own fault. So, yeah, it's a very unfortunate way to end the 10th anniversary race in SRL, but yeah.
I mean, what better way to end it with being in the booth with me again?
Yeah, right? Indeed, it just has to be this way.
As we're just watching Dion Stahl, like, picking a career path in train conducting, it seems.
We thought Dion was going to be a train earlier. With him being in 4th and Sandro in 3rd, this is going to be an Amtrak of epic proportions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, Dion Star's really helping out his teammate, isn't he? Just building the train behind him, being the cork in the bottle.
And as I said as well earlier, we saw it in Laguna Seca in the GT3 series, him trying to hold up Tim Benting so that Sandro Dulis could pick up a potential victory. Ultimately, it didn't come to fruition, but today he is definitely trying to get Dulis into that podium spot, and you see, I don't think he's going as fast as he can through that hairpin.
He's definitely taking his time through the hairpin. That is walking speed.
They lost almost a second through there to Dulis out in front. And
this is fantastic racing. I love seeing this. Dion has been such a good teammate for Sandro over the years, and there's always been, I mean, let's face it, it's always been a bit lopsided as far as, and Jensen Randall, 10-second time penalty.
I'm sorry,
they can't get any worse.
Flags.
I think there was some lag. I saw Dion flying into the wall, so excuse my reaction there.
And yeah, it seems this must be Jerome Aramaco that he has behind him at the moment. Yeah, that it has to be, because he's getting blue flags left, right, and center. As we see here, Alexei Koivoniemi has made his way into P6 after his first pit stop, overtaking the Haas. So this train that Dion is currently pulling, it's also spicing up the midfield battle, because everyone is so close together.
Yeah,
and
he's bunching everybody off.
With Koivoniemi being the most recent one to pit, he obviously has the freshest tires. I do know that it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. Oh, as we see a move there, or at least an attempted move there from George Wilkes. He upsets Dion's racing line ever so slightly. Is he going to be able to? It was only going to
be a matter of time before George Wilkes would lose his patience.
We see he couldn't quite get it done. Great camera angle. Cool. That's what we wanted. A front wing shot of Dion Stahl running at the front. Cool.
Oh, yeah,
anyway.
These drivers are really starting to get impatient. I think they know that time's running out for them to actually get in front of that Ferrari to not lose as little time as possible, because Dion is really getting in the way of this train of drivers.
And the gap is now up to 18 seconds, almost 19 seconds, as Koivoniemi on the outside of Wilkes. He gets it done. Brakes a little bit later. It's just those fresher tires able to do
really
it for him.
Move from Alexei Koivoniemi. I think Jensen Rando, he's really had a lot of bad luck today. He even picked up a puncture after the incident involving
yeah, we just caught it. Oh, Koivoniemi gets a good drive.
Well done,
Dion Stahl is no longer the conductor of this train, so we'll see how long it takes for. And you know, Wilkes has got to be punching his steering wheel since he's been stuck behind Dion. But it's Alexei that gets around him.
Exactly,
yeah,
and we have
finally escaped the train.
We have a car that has stopped.
Oh, what is
here.
This guy doing?
That is Alex Benedicchetti in the Kick
Wing?
Sauber.
Oh, he's got wing damage.
Oh, and Koivoniemi has retired.
Oh,
no.
The inside wall, I think.
That's the inside wall.
Yeah,
and we are not going to get a safety
same
car
mistake
again, because why would we? I mean, it's not like there's a 800 kilogram stranded chunk of carbon fiber on the middle of the racing line, but who cares? As Jensen Randall, another 10-second time penalty. He is ignoring a lot of blue flags as he...
Oh, and he's in the wall again.
Clashes into the wall. I wonder,
I think he's got wing damage again.
As we hear, there is someone in the pits we can hear from the onboard of Jensen Randall as he blasts past. As this is going to shake up the order ever so slightly, I think.
And Jensen's into the pits as well.
Seb Belloni is serving a penalty. It seems. This is
going to be a lot of. This is going to be the final pit stop for a lot of these guys, because it's the mandatory 2 stop. So a lot of these guys are going to be able to get this out of the way. And now that the train's broken up a little bit, it might give them an advantage, not being stuck behind Dion so much.
That is true. That is very true. But in all of the chaos, we also lost Alex Benedicchetti. So we're down to 11 drivers now. Monaco is claiming its victims here today.
Well, and realistically, Robin Herderstegen is probably looking potentially at a point if Jensen's day continues to go the way it's going.
If it continues to go the way that it's going, he is going to pick that up by default, because at this rate, unfortunately, Randall is going to get disqualified. I'm sorry to say, but that's just the way it's heading. And we don't see many of those in SRL. Most recent one, unfortunately, myself at Imola last year. Not really anything I could do, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, I didn't want the points anyway.
James Randall getting disqualified, that would be a real collector's item. I don't think we've ever seen that before.
Well, if it's any race to do it, it would be the 10-year anniversary.
Yeah, I mean, it could be crucial as well for the championship, because John Monaco is leading championship.
Oh, and he just hit the inside wall again at that chicane.
Yeah, he was missing parts of his front wing. I do wonder if he has floor damage, though. Could be. But Sandro Dooley's at the moment, he is in P3, and I mean, knock on wood, as hard as you want, because I'm going to say it, I think that's where he's going to finish.
No, I think the top three stay exactly how they are. I think the real battle's going to be between 4th and ultimately 9th.
But that virtual safety car
really
has
just a matter of whether or not Jensen finishes the race or not.
That is true.
So
very true.
4th through 9th is going to be your battle for the rest of this race.
And at the moment, it's been spread out ever so slightly with that virtual safety car mixing it up a little bit. And the closest battle we have is Wilkes versus Serpelloni out on track right now. Serpelloni in the DRS of the Aston in front of him. But as we all know, DRS here at Monaco doesn't do anything for you, really. Or in best case scenario,
these two are relatively close to Dion, and you got to wonder if Dion is already starting to back up to these two just a little bit, just to start another train.
Could be. Let's take a look at the amount of stops that everyone has made, because that is going to be crucial. So,
wow,
second
Jerome's already
through
got his second
fourth.
stop done. So
yeah, 2nd through 4th haven't made their final stop yet, so that is still to come. Oh, as we see a big move there from Serpelloni. Oh, and he turns the Aston Martin.
He turns a Wilkes.
And that is a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting, of all things. And George Wilkes gets a 3-second time penalty as well for corner cutting.
No,
I think that's going to be rescinded, potentially.
Yeah, that'll get taken away.
Because he couldn't really do
That'll
anything
get taken away
about
by
that.
the stewards at the end of the race. That's a silly. Your lap's already ruined on the account of somebody else.
And Peter Nicole heading for pit road for the final time in this race. Or at least he's going to be hoping that it's going to be the final time this race, for his sake. As he filters out into P7, so a very good showing here for Peter Nicole as well. We haven't talked much about him throughout the race. There's been so much going on, but he's quietly been just settling in and just doing the work that is necessary.
And Serpellini is now closing up to Dion Stahl in the fight for P5. Dion Stahl is going to be pretty sure as well.
Big slide coming out of the hairpin.
I do wonder whether this is going to be a fight or is it going to be a train again. I do have my suspicion it might be a train.
Now that B carb looks like it is sliding around an awful lot. I don't know if he's got wing damage or floor damage, but
we have seen Serpelloni in a couple of the races. He is an aggressive driver, as Nicole picks up a 3-second time penalty for track limits. But yes, Serpelloni, a very aggressive driver, and likes to throw the car around.
Does he go with the Nick Van Gelder setup and just make it extremely loose?
Could be. I mean,
I'm not sure if he does it to that extent.
I think no one does it to your extent, with all due respect.
Nor do I, to be honest. But yeah, Serpellini definitely has an aggressive driver style. He was also involved in an incident in Baku with Tim Venting, which was pretty crucial for that race, which really helped out Jerome in the championship as he sets another fast lap.
Oh, a big slide there from Serpelloni heading out of the casino square. As Ivan Brito has left the session, he got bored of looking at cars going around a street, so he has decided to head for the casinos, presumably. Or maybe he's done at Icon and headed for a yacht, who knows.
I would go for the latter, to be honest. But yeah, Dionstal still really bunching up the field there. Also, Don Piper is now closed up to the back of the V-Carb with Zerpellini.
Zerpellini.
Oh! That was close.
That was very close, and the camera angle didn't really show it, but I think there might have been contact there, ever so slightly, between the V-Carb and the Ferrari.
Quite brave
Tries
to
the
try
outside.
In rest gas, yeah, you can see them almost sliding in tandem, and now Don Piper's going to have a look.
Peter Nicole, is this going to make him able to, almost, but not quite, pull alongside Zerpellini? And all of this battling between these three is making sure that George Wilkes is closing up to the battle in front of him. But actually, quite surprisingly, in between Peter Nicole and George Wilkes, we have the race leader, Jerome Adamaco. He's closing up to this battle, so they're going to be giving blue flags now. And how's this going to pan out?
The Dion train for sure.
So there we go. Peter Nicole. Ooh! Almost collects Jerome Adamaco, it seemed. Through.
Yeah, Jerome's pretty much been running his own race. It's insane. He's 40 seconds out in front of Tim Venting. Yeah. That's insane.
If anyone ever told me that Tim Venting was going to get beaten by 40 seconds at one race in SRL, I would have told them to shut up and get along. But it's happening here today. We've found someone who is... well, he is definitely championship material. And how's this going to pan out? Zerpellini.
Oh my goodness.
Trying to get past Dion Stahl, and he now has the blue flags of Jerome Adamaco.
So at what point is he a train, and at what point is he just a slower driver? Because at this point... Oh,
and Zerpellini. Oh, he's lost both end plates now.
Poor Peter Nicole.
Peter Nicole, yeah.
He's getting knocked around here the last couple of laps, trying to stay out of the way of everybody.
And this is going to make...
Jerome has found his way through on this pack of cars.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Jerome Adamaco got through this chaos with both end plates intact and the floor in one piece. But props to him for doing that.
I mean, Dion Stahl at this point doesn't need to play train conductor anymore because the gap is large enough. Nobody's going to be able to make up the time on Sandro, pit stop or no pit stop. I mean, Falzaresi is almost 11.5 seconds behind Sandro, and he's in fourth.
That is true, and that is also why I'm wondering whether this is just the pace of Dion Stahl. Whether this is just how fast he can do, and Zerpellini might be able to go faster, but he's not able to find a way through. I mean,
Zerpellini's going to be taking a big risk here, trying to make this car work, behind Dion without all the full downforce to begin with. So he's got low drag as it is, and he's going to be stuck in the slipstream. So he's going to have a lot of aero wash to contend with.
As George Wilkes actually Peter Nicole heads into the pits. I'm pretty sure he was already... He had completed
he was done.
his...
I think he went in for another front wing.
Might be. Oh, a Zerpellini.
Oh, that was an aggressive move from Zerpellini.
Oh, but he doesn't get it done. He doesn't get it done, but he gets it spun, apparently. Ooh, this is...
Oh my gosh, is that Nickel again?
No, that was... I think that might have been Herstadhagen, all the way down in P11.
Is coming up now, he's going to have to be careful. The two V-cars nearly colliding.
And that is a no-go.
Did he just reset his car?
That is a disqualification, so Robin Herstadhagen is going to pick up a point here today, because we just saw Zerpellini reset the track, which is a big no-no in SRL. And to make matters worse, he picks up a 10-second time penalty. Oh, and he's ended his race.
And he's just gonna,
and that is a full course caution. That is a full... Only a virtual?
Yeah.
That's
surprisingly. Because this is a very dangerous spot. You are flying through here with, like, you're only, downshifting one and maybe braking a little bit.
Sense.
This should be a full course, like, safety car if this was like responsibly run, but obviously SRL not very responsible. The marshals, what are they doing?
Yeah, so that's going to be a big. That guy's going to be looking at some hefty penalties after the race, unfortunately. I mean, obviously disqualification to begin with because of the reset, and then I'm going to assume he probably purposefully crashed to get out, which is also a big no-no. So.
Looked a bit like it, unfortunately.
I mean, he had the 10-second penalty for cutting the chicane. I mean, it just turned into a complete mess, and it looked like a rage quit, which...
Yeah.
If we have to give him benefit of the doubt, it could also just be that he was missing, like, majority of his front wing, and he was misjudging how fast he could take that corner. But yeah, I do hear you that the other reason is more likely.
Ask for, you know, point of view and all that
definitely.
Stuff. But that's what it looks like, unfortunately.
But that does mean that everyone who completes the race today
into the race with a qualifying ban to begin with?
He did. He was serving a qualifying suspension in qualifying today, so he did start from the back. It would be very unfortunate that he leaves this race with another qualifying suspension if that is the case. But I'm not sure. It might actually be upgraded to a race suspension if he's unfortunate enough.
Well, there will be much to discuss for the stewards after the race, that's for sure. Now you're back to this Dion Stall-George Wilkes battle that's been going on for, I don't know, 15, 20 laps at this point.
That is true. And as I was just saying, anyone who completes the race from here on and out, they're going to pick up a point at least.
But you got to finish the race. That is the important part.
That is true. But looking at the crop of the drivers that we have left... I mean, I was about to say I would expect them to finish, but then we see the drivers who've retired here today, and those are usually drivers who stick it out and are usually capable of completing races, so anything can happen here today, it would seem.
I mean, on the plus side, Jensen is definitely going to get a point.
Oh yeah.
His day is gone.
And he's actually managed to turn it around quite well. He picks up a 3-second time penalty. Anyway,
curse.
Anyway, as I was saying, I mean, going from running in P15 at one point, he's currently running in P7. At least he's picking up multiple points here today. He does have to be careful, because if he does end up getting disqualified by the game, he is not going to pick up any points, because he's going to be moved right to the back of the pecking order.
Yeah, that still is technically on the table because he's got a couple of 10-second penalties, not to mention all the 3-second penalties that he's had.
Let's actually have a quick look at that. 16 seconds worth of penalties at the moment is what Jensen Randall is carrying with him.
I think he served one of his 10 seconds as it was a stop go, of course.
It definitely has to be, because he had multiple 10 seconds.
Well, the irony is he's... well, no, that's the other way around. So, yeah, he would still lose 8th and 9th position at this point.
Oh yeah, he would. So he would only be picking up 2 points at the given moment. But yeah, it is quiet out in front. Jerome Adamaco running his own race. 45 seconds is the lead to insane. Tim Venting at the current moment. And then Sandro Doulis is sitting another 18 seconds behind. So they have...
Jones' pace is incredible. Like, he was already 1.7 seconds clear in qualifying, albeit of course in a wet session, but to be 45 seconds ahead of Tim Venting is unbelievable.
Absolutely. And I did say at the start of the coverage here today that I did speak with Adamaco yesterday, actually. And he did tell me he was either going to absolutely dominate and pull away here today, or he was going to end it up at the bottom of the harbour. And, I mean, there's still time to... go for a swim. But it seems like it would be ridiculous that he started to push now with a 45-second lead at the moment. Right now, he just has to bring it back home with 6 laps remaining as he begins lap 33 out of 39.
Yeah, although on a track like this, you almost don't want to stop pushing, right? Because as soon as you do that, you lose concentration. It's almost easier to make a mistake because you just have to stay in your rhythm and yeah, sometimes slowing down can be even risky because you cool down the tires and maybe you can be more prone to actually making a mistake and getting damage.
And that is true. Hitting a bump here at Monaco with anything else than the optimal speed, that could be lethal for the car's direction, should we say. It could be facing the wrong way. As Jensen Randall hits into the pits, he's serving one of his 10-second time penalties, and he's picking up a new front wing as well. So let's see.
Bit of contact as well between Trella and Peter Nicol. Just about managed to keep it in a straight line.
I do think that this might be it for Jensen Randall then, because Peter Nicol only has, I think it was 6 seconds worth of penalties. So there's quite a long way up to Nicol. And then obviously he has to overtake him and all of that stuff.
Well, and Jensen still has the other 6 seconds worth of time penalties, so it wouldn't matter anyways. He would
exactly.
have to
and it's not 16.
Get by him plus 9, so
it is actually 29 seconds all the way up to Peter Nicol. So I think 9th is the maximum that Randall is going to pick up today. Another very sluggish showing for the reigning champion here today.
Yeah, this might be where his championship challenge unravels, because he's already 3rd in the championship. He is still only 15 points behind Tim Venting, who is 33 points behind Joe Monaco. So he's still a contender, Jensen Randall, but this is really going to be costly.
Yeah, and especially
talk
because
about a 10th anniversary race, man. This is this has been insane.
And just picking up on what you said there, Nick, I mean, Tim Venting at the moment, he's going to pick up 18 points here today. Randall only 2 points. That's going to be, well, you said 15 points, or was it 50 or 15 points? That was
15, yeah, between Tim Venting and Jensen. And
so that's going
to actually 36 between Tim Venting and Joe Monaco.
So the gap to Tim Venting from Jensen Randall is going to double over just this race weekend, with the way that things are setting to finish right now, as a matter of fact. And the thing about Adamaco, he is currently... we spoke about it at the start of the live stream, actually. I just mentioned it. He has a big, or a pretty sizable gap in the championship at the moment, but he has also confirmed that he's going to miss a couple of races later on in the season. And maybe even the majority of the last part of the season he's going to miss. So, I mean, we might see a big
So we've potentially got a Nicky Lauda James Hunt championship on our hands.
We might, actually.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, Joe Monaco is going to miss out on some points, and Tim Venting and Jensen Randall, maybe for Nicola Valsrezi, are definitely still in contention, make no mistake. I think Valsrezi is going to be a dark horse towards the end of the season, maybe, but yeah, it's going to be crucial as well for Tim Venting to limit the damage in all the races where Jerome is present.
Absolutely.
Doing, pretty well now.
Any points that he can take away potentially from Adamaco. We have seen, obviously, he won at Zandvoort at the Dutch Grand Prix. He is limiting the damage.
Nearly won in Imola as well.
Nearly won in Imola.
The final corner.
True. And here today he's picking up good points, even though Adamaco is winning. But at the end of the day, this is only, what, like 7 points that Adamaco is going to gain on Venting. That's nothing. I mean, one race weekend, we saw it last time out. Adamaco missed a race weekend, and Venting ended up winning. I mean, that is 25 points straight in favor of Venting that Adamaco can do nothing about. And if we're going to have multiple...
This kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier with, Tim having to settle in and just deal with the fact that he's going to finish second. I mean,
absolutely,
he's got to use that same mentality throughout the course of the season, because if he knows Adamaco is going to be missing some races, you don't necessarily have to win, but you're going to have to capitalize on the fact that you're gaining points, Adamaco isn't. He's going to have to play the Alan Prost game.
Yeah, that is true. And we might, as you say as well, we might be looking at a situation where we get towards the end of the season where Venting is just going to be hunting down the lead that Adamaco has created over the first part of the season. And Adamaco is not going to be there to defend it. It's going to be interesting for sure. That is for sure. But yeah, the race settling down here as the final couple of laps are commencing. 3 laps to go. And I think the closest battle we have is actually between Dion Stahl and George Wilkes, even though it's not really a battle. It might be in a couple.
I mean, it's within a second.
Seconds. as Latrella picks up a 3-second time penalty for, I would assume that is track limits. But yeah, it is settling down. People starting to calm down ever so slightly. I say that.
Oh, except for caution.
I say that. 2. What has happened here? Or that might just have been Herstadhagen letting Randall through, as he is a lap down, I think.
He's pretty much a lap down, but you know what? Shout out to Robin Herterstegen. Robin, I commentated with you guys for a long time, and he was a part of that for a long time as well. And it's always been impressive to me. He doesn't always finish in the points, but he generally always finishes the race. So
yeah.
I don't know what the record is for the least amount of DNFs, but Robin's got to be up there pretty close.
He definitely has. And the thing also, we joke a lot about it as drivers as well, but no one hates Robin. Like,
oh, absolutely. Like,
he's just a good guy.
He's a good guy. He's a decent driver. He stays out of people's ways. Even when he does make a mistake, oftentimes I've never really seen him take another driver out. You know, when he crashes, it's his own fault, and there's generally nobody's involved with it.
And if someone is involved, that is the thing I've usually found out over the years as well. If someone is involved in a crash with him, it's usually the other driver's fault.
Exactly.
It's never really his fault. So, yeah, he is just, as you say, he is not usually the one who's going to fight for top honors, but he's there, he's making good use of, well, a day like today where he's going to pick up what seems to be a very valuable point.
But I think it says a lot when you have a driver like Robin Herterstegen in this series for so long that, like, that's the type of caliber drivers that SRL has. You know, it's not always about being the fastest. It's not always about the most points. Sometimes it's just about consistency, staying out of people's way, being a clean driver, being a good guy. And he's a model SRL driver.
He absolutely is. He absolutely is. As Jerome Adamaco, we've just been focusing on him for a couple of minutes now. He
has just lapped Sandro-Dulis, so he has lapped
almost
the entire field, apart from Tim Ventic in second place.
But he has begun the final tour of the Monaco Grand Prix. And yeah, I mean, there wasn't really any contention for who was going to win here today, but there was so much chaos behind Adamaco throughout today, but he has just been he's been calm, he's been collected, even when he had to do the lapping of that Dion train at one point.
Right.
He just got it done so quickly, and these 25 points that he is picking up today, those are going to be very valuable, and as he said, today he's just been dominating. He's done a very solid job here. He comes through the final couple of corners. The 10-year anniversary race is going to be won from pole position. Jerome Adamaco takes a very deserved victory here today. And what a victory to take as well. And we're not going to catch Sandro-Dulis as he crosses the line as well, because he just did it behind Adamaco. But Tim Venting coming through the tunnel section, he's going to finish in P2 here today. And
Adamaco now extends his lead in the championship to 43 points over Tim Venting.
That is very impressive.
That gives him almost that's almost a 2 full race cushion. So, I mean, if he's going to be heading into the latter part of the season, missing some of these races, that's what he needs.
This is the kind of work that he needs to do, but props to Tim Venting as well, because he has done absolutely what he needs to do here today as well. He knew the race victory probably wasn't on the table, but he has done everything he needed to do. 50 seconds is the gap in the end. I think that might actually be the biggest gap we've ever seen victory won by.
Yeah.
And
it's a shame in a way that we haven't seen a full safety car, because that would have definitely closing things up at the end. But yeah, it's very impressive.
That's got to be a glitch in this game. Yeah. I can't believe we had that many wrecks and no full course caution.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. But yeah, Adamaco.
His 7th podium is off this season, so that shows that he's definitely being consistent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Tim is definitely back to his. Tim's definitely back to his season 5 championship form, so it'll be interesting to see how the season unfolds moving forward.
And Adamako, I mean, he is putting on a display of pace that I don't think SRL has ever seen, with all due respect to both Venting and Randall.
I think we have seen performances from Jensen Randall and Tim Venting which has come close to this as well. To not take anything away from Jerome Adamako, because this has been really impressive. And yeah, lots of respect for Jerome for what he has displayed today.
He joins a list of very decorated drivers who has won the Monaco Grand Prix, as I pat myself on the back for winning that race in the first season.
I actually won that race in the second season, also pat myself on the back.
So there we go. Just had to throw that in there.
Former Monaco winners in the booth. We got a couple of former Monaco winners on track. We got a new Monaco winner. Driver of the day, Latrella? I don't think so.
No. I have to give it to Adamako, even though he didn't advance any positions. That victory is just as good. But yeah, Adamako wins ahead of Tim Venting, Sandro Dulis, then it's Falsaresi, Stahl, Wilkes, Latrella, then it is Peter Nicole, Jensen Randall all the way down in P9, and then Robin Herstadhagen, the last of the finishers and the last of the point scorers here today. So very solid job from the top 10 to not yeet it into the wall, as the kids say these days. I feel very old.
You guys are still kids compared to me.
That is true, but I do feel very old saying that I've been there from the start. This was the 10-year anniversary, and I did promise we have 3 people in the booth. We can squeeze another guy into the booth. Let's get Sandro Dulis, the man who masterminded this concoction that it has become SRL after 10 years. Let's get him in, and I mean, a very solid podium as well here today. The Monaco podium is always something special. It has to be said.
Yeah, he's gonna be pleased about that. It was his second podium of the season as well, so
I mean, I obviously wouldn't know. I've only been there once, and it was in season 1. I don't know what it is to finish second or third in Monaco, unfortunately, but let's hope that Dulis joins us here today, because he was the one who wanted to join us. He told me yesterday, so he better show up. But yeah, I mean, that is it's 10 years of SRL heading into I don't want to say the next chapter, because I mean
here's to 10 more years, right?
I think that's the right way of saying it.
The fact, like, all 3 of us have also been part of this league for so long. I mean, Sam, since the first season. I was also there in the first year, still in 2016, of course, in the second season. And then Lance ever since season 3, 2017. And all the other guys, like Sandro and Tim and everyone, like, what we've built up here, I think is actually pretty special. And then we have the man himself joining the booth.
I think the man who can explain everything, because I was there from the first race, but Sandro, you've been there from the first inception, like, the first time you thought of SRL. And first of all, I mean, podium in the 10-year anniversary race at Monaco. How does that sound?
Sounds great. Yeah, really happy with the podium. It's my 3rd Monaco podium in a row now, so yeah, really pleased. I think worked out as I hoped it would, and yeah, definitely take a podium at Monaco on the 10th anniversary is especially special. And
I do have to ask, because obviously every driver goes for that victory. That was never the question today, was it? Like on the cards.
Yeah, with Jerome Adamako on the grid, no, we all were aware that a win would not be on the cards today unless something crazy happens with Jerome, but the man is a machine.
He is. And we just spoke about it. We became very nostalgic for like half a minute there, but like I've been there from the first race. I mean, you've been there from whenever you thought of SRL. It must be special seeing 10 years have gone by. You've seen so many drivers through the grid. We've seen all kinds of storylines being written in SRL. How does it feel to be able to say that something that you created, something that you thought of, and a community that you have built up, obviously together with other people, but today is 10 years old?
Yeah, it's honestly hard to put into words, because I never expected this to get so big in what it is, and to last this long. I thought it was, a fun idea to have a bit more professional racing on the F1 game back when I was 13 years old and we were still just kids, and to see what it has become over the years is, one, really special to see, but two, what makes me honestly almost a bit emotional and actually quite proud is that something that I created has brought people together and has actually had a positive impact on people's lives, and a community has formed where people have met and created real friendships, and that is something that I value very, very highly, and will forever be grateful for that. My simple idea on an afternoon in school has turned into this.
And I don't think we've ever talked that much about how it actually came to be. You obviously said it was an idea that you just wrote down in school. We did see the post on Instagram. Go over to Instagram to follow us, by the way. That is a good plug. Nice. It was just a piece of tracing paper. It almost looked like that you just wrote down, this could be fun. Do you want to tell the story of how it actually came to be? Because obviously, I know the story, but maybe the viewers don't.
Yeah, it was, well, the start really of the F1 game, for me at least. F1, I started on F1 2013, but then just discovered online racing on F1 2014. Still way back when it was just a game on the controller. And every Friday after school we would play. I would play with a friend online, and we quickly realized that there weren't really many people on the F1 game online anymore, because obviously people had moved on to next gen, PS4, F1 2015, F1 2016 then. And there weren't many people left, so it was like, nobody really to race online. So I then one day in school had the idea, what if we find the most reliable drivers that are still left on PS3 and just, host online races once a week to create a professional championship feeling at least. And that's what the initial idea was, and then was trying to find drivers, which wasn't always easy, but that was the initial base idea of what SRL was. And initially I never thought I would do more than one season. It was just an idea to have one championship season and to call it a day.
Yeah, true. And I do find it funny that you say the most reliable drivers, and then the first driver you found, that was me, but I mean, who knows? And also, I think if I have to give a take here as well, the thing that is the most surprising, or the thing that stands out to me the most compared to other leagues, is you see the level of competition in other leagues like PSGL and AOR or those kinds of leagues. It's very high and very professional, but the community aspect of SRL is something that not only myself has never seen elsewhere, but also what I hear from other drivers. They say that this is something that is special to SRL.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing I can say about that is those other leagues might have, faster drivers, or there might be a little bit more professionalism within, behind the scenes stuff, but the community in and of itself is usually pretty toxic. Whereas, you're still kind of a small league, but I think the drivers feel more at home here. They feel a little safer here. It's not as toxic, and I think that's why you have so many repeat drivers after 10 years. You have, a core group of drivers that, have never left, because this is the home, this is the community that you built. Any place else, it's just toxicity, Yeah. There's not a friendship within those other driver groups.
And thanks for saying so, because that's the best feedback that I can get, is seeing people stay here for years and some even a decade, which in other leagues you see drivers come in, they leave again, they work their way up, they leave again. It's just the community aspect might not be as tight in SRL, and that is something that is the identity of SRL, and I'm trying to keep this identity with everything I do in this league, because yes, we may not be the fastest league out there, we may not have the most pro drivers. We have pro drivers. Look at Jerome Adamako today. He's incredible. But what we do have is a community of drivers that get along together and have bonded a great community, and that is what matters most to me.
I think that's the most important aspect, because we've had some toxic drivers in the past. I won't name any names. We all know who they are, but as the stewards and as you as the president and owner, like, you're only going to tolerate that for so long before, you're not, we don't need you here, And we've seen race bans and we've seen league bans.
A couple of times, yeah. I think that what also sticks out to me is that, drivers who eventually do move on, but go into, like, actual professional sim racing, and we do have to shout them out, Francis McGinn and Vasilios Belettiotis, who both are very, like, top-level iRacing drivers now for their respective esports teams. They still stay in touch.
They do. And that is, like I said, that is just great feedback that they're still there, they're still on the Discord, they still follow us, they still interact with us, and despite having moved on to bigger and maybe even better things, they still know where their roots are. Like Vasilios, for example, that's one of my favorite examples, because when he joined SRL, he was just starting his sim racing career. He just got himself a wheel, and this was, I think, even his first ever league, and he kind of grew into this profession that it now is for him, where he was signed to the Williams esports team, and he's beaten Max Verstappen on the Nordschleife on the official iRacing 24 Hours of Nürburgring. So it's incredible to see what has come from him, from Francis, even somebody like Reese Marsh going racing in real life. It's great to see.
Yep, still holding out hope he makes it to the 24 Hours of Daytona someday.
That would be really cool.
But yeah.
Of course, it's coming up this weekend. But yeah, I also want to add that, like, indeed, the community aspect is so special in SRL, and even, indeed, like Sandro mentioned, the friendships that have grown out of it. Of course, Sandro, Dion, and I have visited F1 Grand Prix together. We've been to the Red Bull Ring in 22, to Spa in 23. We were in Monza last year. We were in Budapest in 2024. And just, and we're going to go to the 24 Hours of Le Mans this year, just like we did last year as well, Sandro and I. And this year, Tim is going to join us. And also, for Sandro and I, we participate in the Saudi karting championship, so we also see each other on the karting tracks. And Tim Ventic and Dylan Stahl also joined a couple of races there. So, like, we just have this community where it just, we are actually a friends group now. And that's just something that is, really...
What a shout out Cameron there as well, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cameron, of course, he joined us as well when we went to Austria in 2022. So, yeah, and also I had my high school friend, of course, Jure, in the league for a long time as my teammate. I've had guys that I work with like Erik and Boer joining the league, and just to have this group of friends is really special. And it just, SRL has really just become part of my life as well. It's, not only just doing a race on the Saturdays, it's, really about just... indeed sharing.
Well, I mean, it's more than just racing on a Saturday. It's you guys are hanging out with your friends at the end of the week.
and I just have so many memories, like visiting these races with Sandro Dion and Cameron, and also and then of course to add to that also the memories on track. So many good races, and it's just really really something special, and I think that's really what makes SRL unique, because also, like Lance said, I've also been involved in some other leagues a couple of years ago, like AOR, and there's like a Dutch league called Race Stars, but it's just uncomparable to the family feeling that we have here in SRL.
And I do have to, like, the thing that also, like, stands out to me is always about a league is, would I recommend it to my closest friend? And, with other leagues I've seen, it's like, it would be too toxic, or it would be too high of a level. Even though the level is high in SRL, and sometimes people get competitive and get a little bit, angry at each other, it's still the only league I have encountered where I would say, even my closest, like, nearest friend, I would suggest SRL as the starting league, even though they might finish P20 and not score any points. But that's a learning ground. It's a breeding ground for learning and getting experience. And as you say, the family community in SRL is just different, uncomparable.
Yeah, because I also had that feeling right from the start. When I joined, I was 15. No, I think I was 14 years old when I joined the league at the end of 2016. I'm 24 now, but like right from the get-go, I think I just had
old.
that. So I'm sorry, Lance.
We have grown up together.
But I mean, that's also what it feels like, right? Indeed, like Sam and Sandro and Lance as well. Like, we've known each other for so long that it almost feels like, we did kind of grow up together, or maybe Lance, you kind of maybe saw us grow up because
I was already grown.
But yeah, it's.
I mean, it was so random how I got involved too, because I wasn't necessarily looking for a league, and I wasn't very good at the game to begin with, which we all know. But I've always wanted to be a commentator, and it was just a random. God, Sandra, I think it was a random post on like Google Plus when that was still
Google
a thing.
Plus, wasn't it? Yeah.
Of course.
And, he was just like, I'm looking for a commentator from an online league. And I was like, I got a PS4. Yeah, I can do that. And I'm thinking it's going to be like, here in America, Friday nights or something. And no, it's this little 13-year-old kid across the pond that, and it's like it sounds weird now, like I was already grown. I probably shouldn't be talking to 13-year-old boys, but like it was never anything but like
Chris Hansen as you do.
Right, exactly. But like just at that age, like his professionalism, trying to add some validity to his league, and it was like, well, I mean, I've got nothing better going on a Saturday morning. I can surely figure this out. I commentate in my head when I watch a race. And, I mean, the first couple races were a little rough. You go back and watch, and you're like, God, I sucked really bad. But we all kind of did.
Dino Star was my favorite.
Dino,
yes.
My dyslexia working its finest on that race. But, I mean, it was – and and things happen. I mean, it did it for 7 seasons, and unfortunately I can't do it on a weekly basis anymore, but it's you guys let me have a small portion of a childhood dream to play out, even though I wasn't a child anymore.
I mean, I'm really glad you decided to actually embark on that all these years ago, because your influence on SRL is amazing. Like, in that you are, like, even when you joined the fight today, everyone was saying, like, man, this is the voice of SRL. He's back. You're such a big part of SRL, and you are, without a doubt, in my opinion, the best commentator we've had and we'll have here in SRL, because your commentary, like, it is actually like you are at the level of a professional commentator.
Yeah.
So
I
really
appreciate that.
Compliment your service for SRL, because the races you've covered, your commentary is just legendary. And really my compliments for that.
I can only copy what Neek said here, and what you mentioned, that you gave SRL a voice, and people recognize your voice with our league, which is incredible. And you gave this league a character for viewers who are watching the races at home that you don't get with some other leagues, some other racing products out there, because you bring a level of professionalism while at the same time being yourself and having fun with it, which after at the end of the day, it is an F1 league on a sim racing game. There should always be fun involved, and you brought that for the viewers.
True.
And I think that's what made you such a good commentator. You still are, and you've grown and developed into that role as well, because man, if I watch back last year's Indy 500, that is honestly, I'm not overreacting. That is some of the best commentary I heard.
That one stupid camera angle, though.
That was you being yourself, and that was great.
Yeah, I agree. That 8500 race, I mean, of course, that was
You're
such
biased,
an amazing
Nick.
race.
Shut up.
Of course I'm biased. But I mean, you can just feel your passion, Lance. And of course, you can imagine how intense that race was for me, and how my heart was racing on that last lap. It was one of the most extreme races I've done. And then to watch that back and hear your commentary and hear just your passion, you're just almost like feeling with me. I can almost relive the race again, because you commentate in a way that it's as exciting as it is to drive, and it's unbelievable. And
I mean, that's the biggest thing I told Sam when he was going to be taking my place. Like, just watch it and call it from a fan's point of view. Like, just be a fan of what you're watching, and that's what it was. It was, I can't say I have a favorite driver. I don't want to be biased towards that. There's some drivers that I appreciate their craft better than others, but just watch it as a general fan and just call it how you see it is the best advice I can give. Just be a fan of what you're watching. And
you can feel it as a viewer. We can. Oh yeah, sorry.
And as much as I love Nick, that could have been any driver that went through all of those same things that day on the Indy 500 to be late, get knocked out. Now you're in the booth, oh, the race is going to be restarted. Now you got a chance. You're starting dead last. I mean, any driver that had to go through all that and win it would have been just as amazing.
Yeah.
That's a little bit more heartwarming than it was, Nick, because we talk and we're friends and stuff like that. But
I appreciate that.
It's you just got to call it as a fan of what you're watching is the best advice I can give. And I mean, I'm glad I am the voice of SRL, and someday maybe I'll be able to come back and do this, on a more frequent basis. It just wasn't in the cards right now, and it's something I miss dearly.
Yeah, it would be good to have you back in the booth as the main commentator.
Yeah.
Also because then I can get out on track.
Oh, missing the racing already, are we?
A little bit, but it is what it is. I have my GT3 to look into, and I am enjoying that whenever we get back underway with that. But yeah, as much fun as it is talking about the past and reminiscing about the good times, I think, unfortunately, I mean, the viewers seem to be enjoying. The viewership went up when we started talking about nostalgia. But I think we have to round it off here today for the 10-year anniversary race, the Monaco Grand Prix. It's not a very flattering title. I could have come up with something better, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm just pulling up the calendar to just see what the next race is. But closing remarks let's go from Sandro to Lance to Nick.
Yeah, I'll let Nick start. I like to end it.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a shame I wasn't able to actually finish the race because it would have been guaranteed points. But I don't really mind it at all because I really enjoyed being in the booth here and talking with you guys. But yeah, it's been the 10th anniversary race, and on to the next 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. Same thing. Here's to another 10 years for you guys. It's I'm sad Nick crashed out, but it's fitting that I jump in for today for the 10th anniversary and be in the booth with Sam and Nick of all people. So it only seems fitting.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
Yeah,
I think I've
agree,
commentated with you guys more than any other driver. So I don't know what that says about your driving abilities, but or your commentating abilities. So that's why you're in the booth.
Well,
Yeah.
I do. Well, I'm just saying I have a victory at Monaco, so I'm gonna leave it there.
So do I.
I don't.
But before you, Sandro, I think I'm gonna quickly just jump in with the calendar, like the next couple of things that are happening here on the official SRL channel. February 7th, it is the special event, the 1v1 tournament. I suppose it's on the F1 game, and there will be more information as we get closer, obviously, to that. And
It's
then
on my birthday, actually.
yeah, and February 14th is going to be round 12, the Hungarian Grand Prix. And we did speak about this last time out, or I did mention it. We have Monaco, which is like actual Monaco, and then we have the Monaco without the barriers, which is the Hungarian Grand Prix. And then my favorite race, one of my favorite racetracks, February 21st, the round 13 is going to be the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa-Francorchamps. So those are the next 3 events happening here in SRL. I'm going to hand it over to Sandro to make the closing remarks. Do you have anything you want to say and, just end with?
Yeah, first of all, thank you guys for the kind words and thanks for doing the commentary today. And yeah, I want to give the perspective to the viewers now. I want to give a massive thank you to every single one of you followers, our viewers, who have been watching these races for 10 years now, since we've been uploading on our YouTube channel, which started in season 2. You really motivate us and me to keep going, to keep doing this. And it is amazing to see the interaction in the chat, to see the likes, the comments, the Instagram account, to see your interaction with the league, and I really do appreciate that. I see every single one of you commenting on the posts, on the videos, in the live chat. I see that, and it really makes me happy that you guys have something to watch on a Saturday afternoon and hopefully get entertained a bit. So that means a lot to me, and I'm really grateful for that. And I hope that we can bring you many, many more races in the future, and I hope we can keep entertaining you for many years to come. So thanks a lot.
And on that closing remark, I'm just going to say it's been an absolute pleasure to do commentary here today. Also to have Lance and Nick for the majority of the race in the booth. And yeah, as I said, February. Yeah. Make sure that you stay tuned for the 1v1 tournament coming up. More information over at Instagram. It's at SRL_F1. I always get them mixed up. But yeah, that is it for the 10-year anniversary. And until we see each other again, this has been Sam Brandt and Lance LeBron, Kamikaze Fox. I think you used to call yourself. And yeah, thank you for tuning in, both to you, Nick, and to you, Sandro. And see you next race.